Hey everyone, Percy here! The new October 2024 season, the famous fall season, is just around the corner. In this video, I've picked 7 new romance anime for the October 2024 season, and trust me, you should be excited because this season has romance anime for every taste. So, make sure to leave your like, check your subscription, and let's jump into the video! Kimi wa Maid-sama. Yakoya Hideyoshi was living a peaceful life until one day, a beautiful woman dressed as a maid showed up at his door, begging for a job. The problem, however, is that her previous job was as an assassin, and all she knows is how to brutally eliminate her targets, being completely inexperienced in household chores or any form of social interaction. Realizing this, Hideyoshi initially rejects the woman, but shortly after, she saves him from a fatal accident, making him reconsider his decision and give her a chance to become a real maid. Guys, if the anime has a maid, it's bound to be good, and on top of that, she's an ex-assassin maid, so it looks really interesting. The title and the anime itself remind me a lot of Kaicho wa Maid-sama. The names are so similar that when you search for it to watch, be careful not to pick the wrong one, although Kaicho wa Maid-sama isn't bad either. If this anime is similar to it, it will be worth it, so let's wait and see. Its premiere is scheduled for October 5th. Murai no Koi. The story follows Murai, a regular young guy who decides to confess his love to Tanaka, his teacher. Unsurprisingly, Tanaka immediately rejects Murai and tells him to give up. However, Murai knows that Tanaka is addicted to otome games, so he completely changes his appearance to resemble one of her favorite characters. Now, looking like one of her dream boys, Tanaka has to deal with Murai's constant advances to win her over. I'm definitely going to watch this one. Imagine a 17-year-old student crushing on his 24-year-old teacher, who is addicted to romance games. I'm curious to see if their romance will go anywhere. Usually, this only happens in less serious eki genre anime, but since this isn't one of those, it's a rom-com, I'm curious to see how this relationship will unfold. For some reason, the anime started releasing episodes a month before the season officially began, so there are already episodes out in September. So, if you enjoy a funny rom-com with a bit of a different twist, you'll definitely like this one. Yarinaoshi Reijou. After being sentenced to death by her own fiancé, Jill finds herself returning 6 years in time, right before her death. Realizing she's back at the party where her engagement took place, Jill decides to confess to the person behind her to escape her tragic fate. The problem, however, is that this person is none other than her greatest enemy, the Dragon Emperor Hades. Even though she tries to take back her proposal, Hades refuses and takes Jill home, where he wins her over with a meal. Determined to change her life, Jill vows not only to change Hades, but also to make him happy, beginning a relationship that could have an even worse fate than the original. This one is for those who like something different, a romance with a lot of fantasy involved. The show is already quite controversial because the girl who goes back in time looks like a child, even though she's older, which has led to a lot of criticism. But putting that aside, the story seems pretty interesting, a romance anime for those who want something beyond the typical school romances. Amagami-san Chi no Enmusubi. Yuryu Kamihate is a regular high school student who dreams of going to college, but after his mother's death, his life takes a drastic turn when he's adopted by a temple in Kyoto, even though he's already 17 years old. To make matters worse, upon arriving at the Amagami shrine, the priests pressure him to marry one of their 3 granddaughters who also live there. Amidst visions of a future marriage, the story follows Yuryu's day-to-day life with the Amagami sisters as he tries to adapt to their different personalities and help prevent the temple that has become his new home from going bankrupt. It's clear this will be one of those anime where the guy can't decide which girl to choose. From what I've heard, all the girls are really nice, so it's going to divide the audience on who the best girl is. I just hope the protagonist either chooses the best girl or ends up with all of them. What can't happen is him ending up with no one, like some anime do. Kekkon Suru Tet. Takuya and Rika work together at a travel agency in Tokyo and have a distant relationship due to both being introverts. However, the unexpected news that single employees will be prioritized for transfer to the company's Siberian branch sends Rika into a panic at the thought of having to move. To solve the problem, Rika approaches Takuya and proposes that they pretend to be a couple planning to marry within a year, so the selection period would end and both would be safe from transfer. The issue, however, is that neither of them has any intimacy with the other, and for two such quiet people, pretending to be engaged won't be easy, even as this fake relationship slowly starts becoming real. This anime is going to be sweet and laid back. Everyone who's read the manga praises it a lot, saying the couple is super cute and that they complement each other well. As a romance anime, this one really caught my attention because it focuses exclusively on romance, and even if it seems a bit cliche, as long as it's well executed, that's what matters. Tsuma Shougakusei and Naru. Even 10 years after his wife Taki's death, Keisuke Nijima still hasn't been able to overcome his loss and lives in deep depression. However, his life completely changes when a little girl shows up at his door, claiming to be Taki reincarnated in this body. With an unexpected chance to reunite with his beloved, Keisuke decides to make up for lost time and stay by his wife's side, while Taki has to adjust to being a 40-year-old woman in a child's body. This is another controversial anime, again, with a character who looks like a child. However, it seems to be quite serious, focusing on themes of grief and coping with his daughter, so I don't think it'll end up being as problematic as some people are assuming. But that's just my opinion. I hope it turns out to be a wholesome anime, and I'll definitely give it a chance, so all we can do is wait for the release. Raised wa Tanin GA2. Yoshino Sumai might seem like a regular high school student, except she's the granddaughter of the leader of the largest Yakuza group in the Kansai region. One day, she learns that her family's violent conflicts with a rival group would be resolved through a marriage agreement, and she is to be sent to Tokyo as the bride who will seal this peace. Reluctantly, Yoshino travels to meet her fiancé, Kirishima, and discovers that he's more charming and pleasant than she expected. However, after a series of unexpected events on their first meeting, she finds herself unable to refuse the engagement and moves to Tokyo. 6 months later, Yoshino's life is a complete mess, as Kirishima is extremely popular at school, attracting the bullying of his fans toward her, and being the son of a Yakuza, he's far from the Prince Charming of her dreams.
We've reached the end of another video. This October 2024 season has romance anime for every taste, and I'm really excited to start watching some of the ones that caught my attention. So if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you enjoyed the channel, don't forget to subscribe. A hug from your friend Percy, and see you next time.